All right, welcome to another day of Ether Raids. We're taking on. I don't know. These were. Like, what are these names? Can you just be like Tom? Like, Tom is really easy to say. Yeah, but anyways, we're gonna do this one with Malice. So remember, I was talking about scrapping the Edelgard team. Well, that has been done, and here we have Malice in her place. So unfortunately, it's bye-bye to Winter Edelgard. Hopefully she will return once Barricade has died. Or pass Seal. Whichever one comes first. I guess maybe you could make it work, with extra actions and wasting repositions, but yeah, it's just too much. Too much, man. Too much. Really, it's just warping. If you can warp, then if I'm able to warp, or if warping comes back in like a big way, then she'll be back, because I don't think her damage output will fall too far off in comparison to the units that we'll be getting. Yeah, the premium units will still be pretty strong, but typically you're not using Winter Edelgard anymore for those premium defenses, so it's neither here nor there in that type of situation. So hopefully I'll be able to recreate that team in the future. Hopefully I remember what the team composition was. but yeah, we got Malice now, and I figured it was between her and like I was mentioning Gold Mary, but I think I said the problem with Gold Mary is that she has no brave damage reduction. So if she gets hit twice with like some type of brave hit or potent, well, brave hit, of course, she doesn't have a way to neutralize that second attack. So that's a big downside to her kit, which is weird that it wasn't included, because a lot of the units that came out last year have brave damage reduction. So for her to not have it is rather peculiar. Although with her build that she came with, it didn't really synergize with godlike reflexes. Having brave damage reduction overall does not synergize with godlike reflexes, so they probably just didn't really factor that in. She doesn't want to get doubled at all, so there's that. I've set up really strategically well here to avoid getting sniped by Celica Ring Felix and also Sigurd. Malice is going to one-shot KO pretty much everything that she survives because of the reflective damage. That is the new meta I feel that we're going to be having for this year. Isn't Nick supposed to get a refine this year? I can't tell. I'm not sure, yes or no. But yeah, she's going to be on the top of the list in terms of like a good nuke once that happens. I feel like she's just missing a few player phase options to really stand out. So look out for that if that ever does happen this year. But yeah, Malice it is. Not really too crazy of a matchup here. Again, I was able to do that because they were cheap, massive reflect damage, and they were just attacking into her. And also, her weapon condition is like just one person within 3 spaces, which is extremely lenient in comparison to, Desert Ike. So, obvious choice there. And then also, Shez was locked, and he would not have gotten danced. If he was going to get danced, then it would have been kind of a problem. But then also not really, because if everyone dies, then he can't really warp 21, so that kind of solves itself. But here we go, we take him out there. But yeah, she's very strong on her own and with support. I was actually getting like hard countered with her by her in a couple of SD practice matches that I was doing. She really legitimately KOs everything. It's very difficult to survive her, kind of like the Fjorm effect, I want to say, and it's interesting that they've basically just picking Fjorm apart in that sense with their Ice Mirror, and they're just giving that out to additional units now. So, but also it's not the first time that it's happened. But if I were to accurately describe her in terms of what she does, it's really Ice Mirror, because the numbers that she puts out. I mean, we've had reflective damage before, but she puts out ridiculous numbers, man. And especially if you were to like pair her with Miracle, which you can potentially do, those numbers just scale even higher. And I think she will age very, very well. I'm also thinking about like what her base version, that refine, will be like. You know, if it is that we ever do get there.
Let's make some money.
Judging by what this current Malice has, I think there's a ton of potential there for her base version to skyrocket in value. And I do have a bunch of copies of her because she's pretty broken me a bunch of times, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. So I think base Malice will have a very good refine in the future. So there's that as well. And yeah, I think this Desert ult also will age. Well, I mean, if I could have plus 10'd her, if I had known that she was this good, I probably would have focused my attention on her, as opposed to getting copies of Ike, who turned out to be kind of a dud, in my opinion. Not that he's like terrible. I mean, he's, you know, he is what he is, but Malice is much better. Not that she can't die or anything, but the only distinction is the null counter disrupt, and as you can see, I've given this Malice null counter disrupt echo, so problem solved. So yeah. I think, what was I talking about before I went on this tangent with Malice? Everguard.
Good morning.
Man,
What now?
I was gonna say something and then I kind of threw myself off.
Ready.
Hold on. I think I was talking about. Oh yeah, Gold Mary. Yeah. So basically, I don't think the Godlike Reflexes build or the Lagoose Friend build is like the best thing for her currently because of the Brave hits or Desperation, which is pretty much Brave on the come up, or Resurgence would be the right word. And then Desperation because Emblem Lyn, and just, you know, Firestorm Dance. There's a ton of effects in the game currently that just give out Desperation, or a ton of units that just have Desperation naturally. So it's just not very good currently for her with the kit that she has. I guess like you could change her B skill to Spiked Wall, attack speed Spiked Wall. I think she performed, you know, fairly well with that. But then also, I don't know like how far that would go, because how would she then charge Godlike Reflexes to cooldown, Times Pulse?
I will try.
It's not that easy, and then you'd really want to loop something like that. So I don't know. I don't know what her future is going to be like. Like, maybe I'll look at, you know, someone with a plus 10 Gold Mary and see what they're doing with their Gold Mary. But for now, Malice is the future. Alright, here's our second match for the day. Well, actually, it's a brand new day. And this is Gideon here. Yeah, so we're gonna use Erica for this one because I couldn't figure out how to approach the boxed off defense here. I guess I could have tried to snipe it with some type of ranged Lyn. Well, not Lyn, I don't have Lyn on offense. I have Bridget. But that would have just taken way too long to clear all of the units. So I decided to go with Omni-tanking with Erica, who is just great. She's really, really good. I'm really waiting on her to get reran on a banner that actually matters. Also, I want to go in and get like one copy of Tamara, but that 1 in 3 is such a pain to deal with. I don't particularly want any more copies of Athos. And I also don't want any copies of Celica because I already got the +1 that I was considering to get. Remember when Annette was good? Well, this version at least was very, very good, but it's like range armors just haven't gotten enough to perform well in the meta. And I don't know, maybe she needs I don't think there's been another bow, well, aside from the Brave one that we got, that really pairs well with what she does. But she's just currently not good. We need a new arcane bow, I want to say, or just better skills for ranged armor units, because she fell off and she is not as good anymore. And I think it's kind of unfair because I actually really like her, but even though I didn't really pull for many copies of her, or any copies of her for that matter, but I think she was really, really strong as a far save when she came out.
Got it.
But
Understood.
tangent, that was a tangent. Don't need any more copies
should I
of Celica. I got the +1, and that's pretty much just for the Dragon Flowers. I don't know if I'm ever gonna +10 any of the emblem units. Maybe over time, we'll get to like a +3. Depending on how the banners go. But I don't think that's not a priority of mine to get a +10 emblem unit. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Intentionally, at least. Let's say that. So yeah. Really, I would like to go on that banner just to get another copy of Tamara. Tamara and Erica are currently like my targets for fodder duplication for infantry. That's really what I'm looking for. I ultimately picked Attune Micaiah from the banner for Spark, from the banner that's currently ongoing. Kind of want to go back in there just to get a Grima, but typically whenever Grima and Ganingagap are sharing, I typically get Ganingagap, which is kind of unfortunate. So I don't know. It's kind of a gamble that I'm probably not willing to take because my Ganingagap is currently at +7. So not the greatest share. So there's that, but I don't have any other armored fodder duplication factories aside from one copy of Hector. Which I kind of want to use for distant counter echoes, so I'm holding on to that for a little bit. But yeah, CYL results not out yet. Well, by the time that this is out, maybe? I don't know. We'll see. Should be February. But yeah, I have no idea. I saw Brian's video, KCB, and apparently Ectonir is just destroying the male division. A lot of people apparently voted for him. I saw apparently a little bit of, personally for me, sadness because it doesn't look like Yanaka made it into the top 2, which is kind of sad. I did miss one day, so, if it came down to that, I probably would have felt really bad, but it doesn't look like it's even close. It really looks like it's Azura for some reason.
I will try.
And Sharina looks like she did fairly well this time around. And I forget who the other one. Oh, Tsubasa for some reason. That is some really bizarre picks. Don't know what's going on there, but I'm really just anticipating to see what the CYL results actually bring about, because this year has been probably the most up in the air, I want to say, even though there are some clear, favorites and front runners.
I will be cautious.
For what I'm seeing from just like results and prelims and stuff, it's looking like it's going in a different direction. I really thought Boulder would have gotten more votes, but then this is just KCB, an English streamer. A game that is probably predominantly played outside of the US, outside of the English player base. You probably have more of a Japanese, Korean, Chinese contingent in terms of numbers. So that does account for something, and I have no idea what's going on over there. So I don't know, maybe we'll see something different, or maybe they're the ones voting for Tsubasa. I don't know. But it seems like everyone wants some Tokyo Mirage Session content, and I don't disagree with them. I think for what it's worth, idle animes games have always been really fun, and I don't see why they've shadow banned TMS for so long. But I don't know, man. Let's see what happens. I'm excited for it. GG's. See you in the next one.